Hey, what's up? We're live for that pants with another Path of Exile video. In today's video, we're going to talk about Betrayal. So, the way I used to run Betrayal, this is no longer the good way to run Betrayal, but the way I used to run Betrayal was I only had 2 people in intervention, 2 people in research, and I would never run the mastermind, and I would constantly spam intervention and research safe houses, because intervention and research always happen in your maps, unless, you know, the safe house is full of intelligence. So this used to be the best way, but it's been nerfed and nerfed and nerfed and nerfed by GGG. So now the best way is to actually run Betrayal as Chris intended. And so that means you want to get a bunch of people in all the different houses, and ideally there is a tier list. I think this is not super up to date, maybe. This graphic might need a little bit extra updating, but essentially you want to have, like, the best thing to do is have Ashling. You might think it's Aisling, it's Ashling. You want Ashling in research. That's, right now, I sold one yesterday for 6 divines. You want a T4 Ashling. Now, there's a difference between tier 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, this Vajan here, he's got 3 stars, so he's currently tier 3. If you do the mastermind, all of the people get upgraded by 1 level. So if I go do the mastermind now, then Vajan will be tier 4. He doesn't need to be the leader to be turned into a tier 4. He just needs to be in that house. So Corel in intervention, if I go do the mastermind right now, then Corel is going to be tier 3 because he's currently tier 2. So if you do not do the mastermind, the maximum you can get reward-wise is a tier 3 reward. And if you do the mastermind, then the maximum you can get is tier 4. Now, ideally, my ideal setup for a Betrayal board is going to be that I have Ashling in defense, in research rather, that I have Varici in research, because that gives you 1 to 6 white sockets, which can be incredibly good. And then you want Hillock somewhere that's not intervention. Armor quality, fast quality, weapon quality, they all go for around a divine right now. And then you want as many people as possible in intervention. If you can have 10 people, get 10 people. You can't have 10 people, but if you can have like 6 people or 5 people or something like that in there, get them, and get them all at tier 3, because then once you go do the mastermind, they're all tier 4, and that means they drop a winged scarab, and winged scarabs are half a divine each if you harvest swap them. So winged scarabs, really, really, really good. The other stuff, honestly, I wouldn't bother with anything. Maybe gem experience is okay, I guess, but there's not much that's super good other than those things. Obviously, Guff, you never want Guff anywhere. Guff is the worst. Guff tier is the lowest tier there is possible to get in the video game. So this is what I recommend. This is how I would set it up. I am going to do a test because I like testing things. So we've got 100 maps here, and we've got 25. Your maps contain Jun compasses. I've got the compasses, even though I've got 171 syndicate missions, but it's because I don't want to have to keep clicking the thing, and I will forget at some point. So we're going to do 100 of them. We're going to test out how frequently you can get that thing and what kind of money you can expect from it. Obviously, it differs at what point of the league you're looking at this. Early on in the league, the flask stuff can still go for a lot of money, especially like a 30% quality flask from Hillock in, 28% quality flask from Hillock in research can go for a divine in the first couple of days, because some people are going to get their, they're going to get a really good flask and they want to maximize the efficiency of that flask straight away. So some people are going to get a bottled faith or something. Maybe they're going to have a dying sun like me, and they want that to be really, really good straight away. So there's always, bosses who are willing to pay a lot for the Hillock stuff quite early on. When it comes to Ashling, Ashling can be a little cheap at the beginning. I think the white sockets are a little bit more expensive, and then after a little while, Ashling becomes incredibly expensive. And as far as the map, the Atlas passives goes, you can fill out every single Betrayal node with just 34 points. So it can be incredibly cheap, especially as an accompaniment to a league launch strategy. If you didn't want to actually run the safe house, you just want to build up a lot of missions, then you could take these two off here. These are just these are great, but the additional chance to gain additional rank, I would keep this on at the beginning, honestly. But then this one, you could take these off as well. So you're looking at 21 points for a very decent startup. If you wanted to just wait a little bit before you spam a lot of gym missions, I think, depending on what happens next league, obviously, we always wait till patch notes. But if we didn't wait till patch notes, then I would be strongly considering running this strat. But I haven't done the test yet, so I don't know. But I just really enjoy Betrayal. I think it's a really interesting mechanic, and it's got a lot of moving parts to it. I really like that. So I'm definitely going to do this test, and I'll see you in a bit for the conclusions. All right, we're done with our maps, and we've got here, I just wanted to show you what a pretty much perfect Betrayal board will look like just before you run it. So the only thing that I would change here is Hillock being at level 3, which I hope to get by the time I get some transportation intelligence. But we've got Verici, so that's tier 3 in research. We've got Ashling at tier 3 in research, so those will be bumped up to tier 4 when we do the mastermind. And so Ashling's 4 div, this is 50C to 300. And then we've got 5 people, which is the maximum number in intervention. And this gives you 5 winged Scarabs, which is really good. So based on our 100 map sample size, and it's not enough of a sample size, I don't think, to make any strong conclusions about, but the very, very weak conclusions we can make is this is insane money. It's absolutely ridiculous. So we did 100 maps, and we got 8 safe houses, 8 masterminds, and this is what we got. So 28 divs just in Ashlings, just only in Ashlings. And that's because one time I didn't get Ashling, and I figured, because there's, I think, 17 members in total that you can have, and then we've got 8 here, 11 and 14. So there's only 14 people that can be on the board, and there are 17 total members. So if you don't know that Ashling is around, and say there's some question marks and stuff like that, it's always a good idea for you to remove whoever it is from the syndicate who's offering, provided it's not Verici, Ashling, or Hillock. So Hillock, Verici, and Ashling, the only people I would ever keep. If I got the option to remove Guff, I would always do that. Always. It's always profitable to remove Guff. But if you don't know that Ashling is on the board, or you don't know where Ashling is on the board, then it's a 1 in 3 that when you swap somebody out, that Ashling will come in. So it's always useful to do. But we got 28 divines just from Ashlings, which is pretty nutty. We got 5 divines in total from miscellaneous other crafts. So that would be the the Vericis, the Hillocks, that kind of stuff. We got 3 divines in just loot, just straight up loot from stuff like Cinder Swallows. I think I have a couple here somewhere. Yeah, so Cinder Swallows. If you don't ID them, I just wanted the things. But if you don't ID them, then they're worth around half a divine each. We've got some Kulumax. You get quite a bit of stuff from the mastermind. So that's just 3 divs in just stuff from the mastermind. And then we got 31 winged Scarabs in total. So it's around 4 per mastermind. Now you should always swap these in harvest. So this is 23C, 23 chaos worth of wild crystallized life force. So that's 0.1 divine. And that's 20 reforges, 20 swaps in harvest. So you should always do this, because the cheapest Scarab is going to go for 0.4, and the most expensive one is going to go for 0.6 of divine. So it's, in my mind, we haven't done the science yet. We're going to do the science. But in my mind, it's always profitable to swap them in harvest. If you have winged Scarabs, swap them into something that people want. So, you know, ambush scarabs because people do boxes per hour, torment scarabs because people are doing ghost busting, div card scarabs because people are farming apothecaries, that kind of stuff. I don't think conversion is that popular anymore. We do have some reliquary scarabs, but if you have, say, you have 7, then yeah, they're going for 1 for, you know, 2 for divine. That's kind of what you're looking for, really, is a scarab you can sell in bulk. But in total, I think this is around half a divine per map. And our maps were incredibly fast usually because we just run in, we blast some stuff, and then we run out. And you just do a little bit of just a little bit of thinking. Not too much thinking, just a little. Not a lottle, just a little. Absolutely insane. And it takes so few points to do this on the map as well. So I'm strongly considering putting this alongside other strats because it's just incredible money. And I think there's a really, really interesting point with intelligence gathering. So if you just take these 4 points here, whenever you have done a mastermind, or it's the beginning of a league and, you know, nobody's done a mastermind yet, then all these are question marks, and there'll be maybe, I don't know, 20% here, 0% here, 60% here, 5% here, or something like that. And you can use this intelligence gathering, completing your maps, not red tier, not yellow tier, any tier maps, grants 10 intelligence for a random multiple syndicate safe house. So if you use intelligence gathering at the very beginning of the league, and you're just filling out your atlas, at some point you'll come over here to Jun, and these will all be ready to run. And once you can run one of these, you know who's in, you know who half of the board is from essentially AFKing it. So I think that's really, really useful to do. And I'm going to try this out with some other strats as well, because I want to see if that truly is exactly what happens. But yeah, this has been our dive into Betrayal. This is not even an optimized version of Betrayal either. This is just like an Alcan Go version, is getting you half a divine per map for very, very few Atlas points. It's honestly, it's absolutely crazy. Sometimes if you're selling this on TFT like I was, then maybe nobody buys because you put it for 5 divines because you got greedy for your Ashling. That happens sometimes. And I was running it alongside Expedition, which I think is a perfect complement to it. And sometimes you have to wait 10 minutes because, you know, the TFT chat channel is on slow mode, so you have to wait 10 minutes to be able to post again. It's the perfect time to come over to Tujin and just literally take money away from Tujin. Like, just 10 minutes, little break from mapping, and just do this whilst you wait to be able to post again. And then, because your portals are here and you can't really do anything, and it's not itemized for Ashling. And I really hope it doesn't get itemized, because that means it's going to be nerfed again. Sorry, reworked again. Anyway, that's it for this video. This was honestly a ton of fun to run. I really enjoyed Betrayal. It's one of the most opaque mechanics in Path of Exile. And if a mechanic is really opaque, the people who understand it make a ton of money. That's always the way in Path of Exile. If something's really, really difficult to understand, but there are some people who do understand it, then those people make a lot of money about it. Just look at crafting. And crafting's not even that opaque, it's just lots of knowledge. And if you want to make a lot of money on Betrayal, the best way is to just do it. You'll fail a few times. I failed many times. Many times. But farming Betrayal, like the number of times I got down to 1 portal on the mastermind, I got to learn that fight better. But once you get these things, once you figure out, you know, most of the time you know kind of what you're going to get before you go into the mastermind. You eventually sort of memorize this sheet a little bit. But once you figure it out, and the little efficiencies you can make, like always kicking somebody out if if they're not Ashling, Hillock, or Varici, always do that. Then it's really, really good money. It's so good, and you learn a little bit each time. And I've lost a couple of Ashlings on the way to doing this video and this test. Man, it hurts. But my ability to do them is so much quicker now. So yeah, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about it down below. We're live on twitch.tv/lifewithoutpants every day. So come and swing by and say hi. If you have any questions about this, please let me know. I love to try and help people learn about this game. So that's it from me. I hope you are kind to everyone you meet. I love it all very much. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.